Hey again, my name's Debbie. I'm the North Carolina Stitcher, back for another update and part one of my sampler parade. Yay! I had so much fun getting this together. Today I'm going to do my sampler WIPS and my samplers that I have kitted. I'm not going to show any of the ones that I showed last week when I did what I wanted to do for that I desired to try to get started on Sampler September. Haven't made much of a dent in it, but I did get a couple things started, which it was none of the ones that I said I wanted to do. First of all, I wanted to tell you that today, this has been a great couple of weeks weather-wise. This week's a little hotter. Last week, it was such a wonderful week. I spent... I think it was either Tuesday or Wednesday, I decided the temperature was like in the low 70s. And so I got out and I raked my whole yard. I tell you what, on my iWatch, I just totally tore up my exercise. I got everything, I doubled the amount of calories and the amount of steps and the amount of exercise is my target for the day. So, but I really enjoyed doing that. So this week's been a little hotter. But I'm so busy most of the time running for children and things for my husband and things for me. I just, it's been one of those couple of weeks. But anyway, I wanted to show you what I've been stitching on since my last video, which was on the 16th. I did finish my Stitchonomy frame for the Halloween sale that starts on the 1st of October. I didn't do all the outside little bits, but I got the inside done, so that I can start working on the little pieces when it comes out. So that's it. It's not a very big piece. I got it right in the middle of this fabric, which I could have put it... Well, it's fine the way it is. But I got that ready to go October 1st. So that's a good thing. So I worked on that. And then I started this one sampler. And for some reason, I've got all these samplers that I spent all this money on. And I go and I get drawn to doing free samplers that I find, that's been offered by designers or whatever. So this is when I started. And then when I started it, I didn't really look at the middle of it as much as I should have, because I do not really want to do any of that stuff in the middle. Her name and any of this other stuff. I think it's like a little small reproduction sampler. It's small. But here's what it is. It's Juliette Lequet, let's see. Levaquet or something. I can't even pronounce that. That's some kind of French person. It's a French name, I think. But I'm going to totally change out the middle from her name on down. I may do these down here. I'm not sure yet. But here's what I got started so far. I'm doing this in Threadworks. It's 10891. I'm not sure of the color name, but here's the color. Here's where I'm at so far. This is on 32 count Queen Anne's lace. So that's what I got done on that one. Then I was going through my samplers and my box with all my kitted up ones and my samplers I have started, and I found this old freebie from Brenda Keys. Now I don't have it because it's just the sampler. I don't have a picture of it, but I started it and finished it. It's called The Spies of Canaan. And it's just a small one. It's probably 4 inches, 4 by 4, but that's what it is. I did do a couple things differently. The arms and the legs were the same color as this bar here. It's a rust color, but I changed them to the same color as their face. The date was not in there. I put the date in there, and of course put my initials. And that's really, and the birds were brown. I may change them to black. So that's what I did on that one. I really enjoyed doing that. I'm not sure, I may put this in a small frame. I may do something different. I did get the stuff to make little pillows this week. I got some of the stuff to stuff it with and some fabric for backing. So I'm hoping, maybe I can do a little bit of that. So that's the only thing I've really worked on this week. I worked on the Stitchonomy until I got it done, and then I worked on the Spies of Canaan for like 4 days, but it was so much fun. That's on an 18 count Ada. I really enjoy stitching on Ada, but I like the even weaves and the linen too. So what can I say? So first of all, I'm going to start out on all the stitches, all the samplers that I have that are WIPS. And most of these I know you've seen, but I'm going to show you all the ones except for, like I said, the ones I showed you last week. Now this one is, it's called Landon, this is a stitch along. Now this lady here, she's got, I'm not sure what, I don't even know what nationality she is, but she's got a Facebook group. It's called Landon, her name's Juanita Martel, but she's got a stitch along group. I'll link that in the bottom of her stitch along group, and she has some beautiful stitch alongs if you like samplers. Now she's getting ready to start a new one starting tomorrow, and they're free. You know, she just don't want you to share her stuff on Facebook or anything, you know, her patterns. She wants you to come to her group again. She sells some of her patterns also. But this is one I started, and this is just got finished. I'm a long way from finishing it because it's a big sampler, but it's a Quaker. And it is gorgeous. I've seen that some people that's finished it. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I'm doing this on 40 Count Mallow by Zweigart and 115 by DMC. That is, as far as non-fancy floss, that is my very favorite variegated thread. Is DMC 115. Let me see what to do with all these. Okay, and I also took 2 of my pictures to be framed this week. One of them is the one for my brother, and the other one is from Magical Sal's. It's the Weaver's Tapestry Band Sampler from 2018. And I finished it last year. I kept up with it all year long, and I really enjoyed stitching that one. And it's a long one. It's like 31 inches long. I took it to Hobby Lobby. Never have anything framed. I have never had anything framed before. Well, not since the early 90s. When we had cross-stitch stores around here, and I had one for my brother. It was like an 8x10. It cost $27 to have that thing framed. And of course, back then that was a little bit of money. I mean, that was kind of expensive in my opinion, but nowadays that would probably cost. Well, the one I'm having framed for him now, it's the same brother. It's costing around $80 to have it framed, but it's going to have double mats. So, what can I do? But anyway, here's another one of hers that I started this year. This is just a bird sampler. It's another band sampler. I'm way far behind on this one. I got started. I mean, I just was not able to keep up with it this year. I got behind during the time when we were moving and buying the house and moving, so I haven't gotten caught back up. So, but I am going to finish that one because I do really like it. This is one that I got recently. This is called Quaker Seasons of Friendship by Crown and Thistle Designs. It's really hard to see that. And it's going to be crinkly, but there's the, I saw this, Jan Hicks was doing this one, and Quakers are, I see a Quaker and I just about have to get it. And I looked for this, and the only way to get this is called Dying to Stitch in Virginia. And they have the rights to print them up. And this is, I got started on this. This is on a 40 count Vertil, and I'm using Darling Bluebell from Miss Sadis. I'm loving that. I haven't got very far on it yet, but I'm really loving that so far. Okay, this is the one that I've shown several times. This is from Wienberg. And this is the one that is my goal to finish this year. So I really have got to get busy on this one. I haven't stitched on it in about a month. But it's a mystery. It's also a mystery. I have a thing for samplers, for SALs. Mystery SALs, excuse me. And I have always had a thing for them. This is back from 2006. And, here it is right here. And I'm down onto the bottom row. So I just got to do that bottom piece there. That's the very bottom of the sampler right there. There's still a lot of stitching to it, but I really want to get this because I want to get this framed and hanging on my wall. Because I love this. This is a Verlin's. I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce it, but that's that kind of sampler which I do love. I do love these kind of samples too. Because they're similar to Quakers to me. They got all the motifs on it. That's what I really like. Okay, and this one is another stitch along. This is from the Jan Houtman or Han. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. He was Dutch or German. And they're doing a stitch along on a group. This is a free stitch along. I got started. I didn't get very far with it because of the initials. See, the first thing, and I actually tore it out. You can see right here where I took it out. I had it's actually his address, and it's been Dutch. But this is I didn't get all the way to the very end of the top row, but it's a pretty big one. But I do like the orange. You know, a lot of people change the colors. And but they did upload a sampler. I mean, an alphabet that's the same font as the ones that they used in here, so I can, you know, people can change the lettering. And there's lettering at the bottom too, which is, I'm not sure what it says because it's in, you know, it's all Dutch. So, but I do want to finish that one as soon as possible. Here's one that I got ready to. It's ready to start, but I don't think I started it. I'm gonna go ahead and show it to you anyway. It's the Chloe Lincoln sampler. It's I just got the fabric, which is I'm not sure. Oh, it's vintage country mocha. So that's 32 count, I think, and the thread is going to be DMC. It's DMC. It calls for DMC. So that's one that will be a start. It's not a start yet, but here is another one that I started not too long ago, and it's called This Little Gift by Kathy Barrick, and it calls for NPIs, which I didn't get. I didn't even go and see what color they look like, but it's got a red, a green, and a brown. So I'm using this is a vintage country mocha again, 32 count. No, this is 40 count, maybe. I'm using Carrie's Creations. I'm using Valley Green for the green. This is Old World Red, and this is Color and Cotton. And this is called, I know hers are named. Mahogany for the brown. And I really like how that's coming out. And it's really pretty. That red, the way it's variegated, I just love that. And I started this not long ago. I think I might have started this the first of the month for the sample September. So I don't know if I showed that to you or not last week, but I looked at my video, so I don't think I did. Okay, here is Agnes Otterson. I showed you that last week, so I guess I don't really need to show it to you again, because I don't think I've got anything else done on it. So, well, I didn't do anything else to it, but there it is. Anyway, that's all I have that my recent starts. Okay, now I got a bin down here with my other WIPS, and a bin over here with all my kitted up ones. So this could be end up being a long video. Okay, this is from Sampling Antique Needlework magazine. I wonder if I printed up the, yeah. This is from the number 58 issue, spring 2010. It's called 1863 Verlandi sampler. Now I've changed all the threads because I think it calls for DMC. But yeah, and Presentia is the one that, and also they have a DMC conversion. So I changed it, and I even actually changed some of the colorway. That is, I've changed some of the colors in it to different. But I'm using the Victorian Marlowe sampler threads, and I've got this for. I got this. It's not very big, but it's the only thing I could find. So, but it'll be big enough for that. I worked on this for a few days. When I started, I like it. I can't wait to get back to that thing. So it's going to be fun. I went down and printed up a few samplers from that magazine sometime this past few months. And because there's some I wanted to just, I have the magazine, I have the, not the magazines, I have the DVD with all the patterns in it. And this one is a sampler for my mother, which I know it's been several months. I was working on this like every 12th of the month because that's the day, her birthday was the 12th. And I'm doing this as a memorial for my mother. She passed away in 1988. And I haven't worked on it for a while, which I should really get my button gear and get this worked on some more. It's really beautiful. This is a Quaker. It's gorgeous. I'm doing this with DMC, and this is 32 count. I think just ivory maybe. I'm not sure. I think it's either ivory or something like that, and from either a Jobelin or a Lugana, one or the other. One of those two. I think it's probably Lugana. I like Lugana the best, I think. But they're both pretty nice. Okay, this one is, it's still even in a Q-snap. I need to take off the Q-snap. This is from the Scarlet Letter. This is Anne Grimshaw, 1818. There's the pattern. I was going to do it in black, and then on the group, they were doing like a stitch along on the Anne Grimshaw group. I saw someone doing it two colors of like a blue, a teal from Verswa. And you can buy the hanks on this on her website for like $45. I bought a hank of, there's two colors, I bought a hank of each one. And that's how far I've got. So far, that's the darker color. Let me see, I get that one down here. Here are the two colors, that's the dark one there. And here's the lighter one here. This is 134. And this one is 136, I do believe. Yeah, 134 and 136. I saw someone finish this with this color. Oh my gosh, it was gorgeous. So I copied them. I hope they don't mind, because it was beautiful. I got this in one of my So Much to Love bags when I was in the bag of the month last year. Which this is a 8x11 Q-snap. Fits right in there. So it's not too bad. It's a little tight, but not too bad. Here is, I don't know if you even really count this as a sampler, but I'm kind of counting it as a sampler. It's One Nation by Bygone Stitches. Here's the pattern. And I started this on, I think, might have been 2018's Stitch Mania. This is on 28 count Ale Lugana. That's as far as I got. So I need to get busy stitching on that again. And I'm doing it with DMC. I decided not to buy the 12 skeins of the whatever it was called for, and it's not usually a crew. I like it just as well. So here's the Long Dog samplers. This is Le Jardin de Plaisir, and this is, I think it's like something garden. I'm doing this on an 18 count Ada with these 3 sulky threads. This is all I've got so far. Just a little bit of the gray. So, a lot of people go and buy the petites, which I do have some of the petites, the silky. But you go on their website and you can get the full-size spool. You can even get the big, monster 1,200 or 2,400, feet of the whole, the big ones. This is 3 Things sampler by Maura Blackburn. I'm doing this with DMC. And I haven't got very far on this one either. This is all I've got done. But I do like it, so. You know, I've noticed a lot of people going and doing, like, purging some of their stuff. I mean, some of their old WIPS. And there could be some I might do that too. More than likely, some of the stitch-alongs that I started in the last couple of years, I may do away with some of those. But most of the ones like this one, I'm going to keep them. I mean, I like them. Holiday Quaker by Rada Studio. I'm doing this with the Call For threads, which is, what does it call for? A lot of it is Dinky Dyes, I think, maybe, or, no, not Dinky Dyes, but sample threads. There is some DNC in there. I'm doing it on the Called For 40 count. I'm not sure. Is it still on here? No. Well, I hate to do this and not tell you what kind of fabric this is. Okay. It is from Picture This Plus. I don't see it on here. I know it's on here, but I don't see it. And it might be shale. That's kind of what it looks like. There we go. That's really pretty. I'm going to start working on that again probably after Dark October stitching. So I have a few patterns over here that I want to do for Dark October, but I'm not going to show those in this sampler parade because I want to, I'll show it to you during the, in just a separate video what I'm going to do next month. And this is another pattern I got. I have, here's a picture of it. This is called Patchwork by another Jan Houtman, or Jan Houtman, or whatever, however you pronounce it. Bought this back years and years ago, back in the 90s, when he was still alive, and I bought it from, someone that knew him. She would get, buy him, and, you send her the money, and she would get them from him. They're basically just PDFs, or not PDFs, but she'd send them to you. That's how far I've gotten. I'm doing this with Vicki Clayton, a Vicki Clayton conversion. I think this is a 35 count maybe, and I'm doing it 1/1. No, 1/2, I'm sorry. So, and back then, he's got his name right in the middle of it, and you could, someone was charting your own name in that thing, and I, sent off for it, paid the girl for it, and I cannot find that anywhere. I thought I'd put it in here with all these papers, because it's a thick chart. It's not in there, so I don't know whatever happened to that. Which I hate, but what can you do? When you have as much stuff as I do and move around, well, I haven't moved around that much, but just things get lost after especially years. This is Merry Wind Farm, and it's called Anne Stetson, 1859. Well, here's a picture of it. It's sideways in there. This is when I started a while back with the gassed wool threads, and it looks really good. And it's on a silk weaver. This is Wixford linen, 32 count. And let's see if it's got a color, if it's a solo. It's called Wheat. So I definitely want to get back to this one before too long, because it went really fast, that part. Samplers, that's one thing about samplers, usually they go pretty fast. This is my Linen and Threads 2018. Haven't looked at this in a while. I'm doing this with also with this is on 18 count. Got the little tag in here. Platinum Ada, and this is with the with Sulky. That's the first month, January, as far as I got. It's fun though. I do like it. So. Okay, here's when I started. I think this was the first year I did Stitch Mania. I bought this back years ago. I guess I bought this in 1996 when it came out. And I don't even know that these people are still charting. It's called At the Hop is the name of the design company. I've looked for them. I haven't found them. And it's called You Be Checked. I bought and at the time it called for Sampler Threads, which was one of the few that was out there as far as fancy floss. And this is on, I think it's a 35 count linen. That's as far as I got. I think it'll go pretty fast though once I get going on it. But I bought all this stuff for it, and I've had it since 1996. That's a long time. Here's something from Kathy Barrick Samplers. It's called Mary Prentice 1831. And this is a 28 count. I think this is 28 count Monaco. I do believe. That's my big start. Yep, it's 18 count Monaco. Antique white. I like Monaco too. Some people don't like it because it's kind of stiff, but you know, a lot of people do like it. So I have a big thing of Monaco in there. One of those 10-yard bolts I bought back before they stopped making them. And this is in Hindi. In Hind, H-I-N-D-E, 1778. This is a scarlet letter sampler. And here's what it looks like. It's just a small thing. And I've got it on another 28 count. There's what I've gotten. And I'm doing this with Carrie's Creation Cherry. It's really pretty. That is a really bright red. That one won't take long to finish once I get going on it because it's small. Uh-oh, I've got a lot of stuff. I hope I don't have an avalanche here. Here's another Jan Houtman. I'm just going to say Jan Houtman. I know it's not the correct way to pronounce his name, but I'm American. What can I say? Southern American at that. And this is Life Tree LA1. And I'm doing this on, looks like, this is some kind of Ada. I think I'm doing this on 18 count Ada. That's as far as I got. That's just one corner. I'm doing this with Mo's Sale. I'm pretty sure it's Mo's Sale. But I don't know if I have enough, yeah, I don't have enough. And one of them is DMC, I think. The green is DMC. Where's it at? There it is. The green and the black is probably DMC because I don't have any more thread in here. But that pink is Mo's Sale. Well, I might have because I got several skeins in there, so I might have enough. Okay, here is Pink House Sampler. I think no, this is not Pink House. I always think it's Pink House when I see it through the thing here. This is a Reflect Bissoir. Reflect, however you pronounce it, that French. Reflect, I don't know how you pronounce it. But this is called Anastasia. I love this. And this is on 28 count 1/1. That's as far as I got, the very top corner. we were doing this. They were doing this online and on a group as a stitch along, and of course you had to buy your pattern, and then they would tell you which section to stitch which month. Which that's the first month right there, and that's as far as I got. Which I love those. I love this company's designs. Here is another one of those Juanita Martel's stitch alongs. This is the one from a couple of years ago, 2018 maybe. And this is again another Quaker. This is, and this one she put out, and she had a bunch of different colorways you could do. You could do it monochrome or however you wanted to, but I chose this really colorful one. And I love this. I really, really do. So, I think the next one she's coming out with that starts tomorrow is going to be a band sampler. So I'm really looking forward to that. And here is a Bristol sampler that I bought online. And it's from the Benjamin Drew by Quiltify Designs. And it's huge. This thing is huge. And this is how thick. I mean, that's a lot of pages in there. And I've started this at, I'm doing this 1/1 on 28 count. And I'm using Silks for You. And this is PR023. And that's what it looks like. I got a whole hank of that. And it's, that's my third Bristol sampler that I have started. I got the Harriet Saul. I got Louisa Coulamore. I think it's Coulamore. And this one started. Okay, and here is another stitch along from a mystery sampler from Wienberg. This one was the Quaker Mystery 2008, I do believe. And I got about half of it done. It's not as big as the other one that I was stitching, but this, but I got about half of this done. And I'd like to finish that up. And this is on like a, I think a cream 28 count. You see my mountain? There's my mountain of stuff right there. It's fixing to probably fall over on me. I hope not. At 33 minutes. Ooh. This one is another one of the I Stitch designs. This is the black band sampler. I did the red band sampler, the blue band sampler. I have the amethyst band sampler that just finished up. Didn't even start on that one yet. And another one's getting ready to start. I think it don't start till January, but I did sign up for it, and it's burgundy, I think. And this is just all I've gotten on this one. This is on 40 count vertical. This is just on white. And with just this is the black PR070 by Silks for You. Doing it 1/2. Now these are real small. Most of the time people, I mean, you know, she has like it's real long. I think it's like 900 stitches long, 73 stitches wide. And they do it on that banding, but I don't do it on the banding. I haven't done any of mine on a banding, so I don't really care to do it on a banding. This is from another one from Wienberg. This is the Tsunami sampler. I don't have a picture of it, but this is on 46 count. And I'm not sure, this is I think it's just white, antique white. And this has got the Vicki Clayton conversion for it. I'm doing 1/2. So haven't really got much of a start on that, but here it goes. Here is another one from the Wienberg. This is Verlinden Mystery Sampler Geza, G-E-Z-A, G-E-S-A. And of course I have no picture of that because it was another mystery. And this is on white 32 count Jubilant. And I just got a little bit started on the top, part of page 1. It's about time for her to do another stitch, another, mystery stitch along, but I don't know if she's going to or not anytime soon. And here is the Louisa Coulamore from Hands Across the Sea. And this is this. And I'm doing this on 35 count Cocoa weeks. No, that can't be right. I think they must have put the wrong thing on there because that's not this fabric. Because it's supposed to be oh yeah, this is it. Yeah, lamb's wool. Here it is. I don't know what the heck, where that came from. Oh, it's on the wrong. They wrote on one side of it and then wrote on it again. This is 32 count lamb's wool Jubilant. Oh, I was wondering what the heck was going on there. I knew that wasn't during 35 count weeks or whatever. And here it is. I'm doing this with the with Carrie's Creations. I think it's silks. Yep, this is her silk thread. It's old Salem red. Carrie's had some really beautiful reds and blues. Wow, they were just gorgeous. And I hate that she's not dyeing threads anymore, but I got a bunch of her stuff, so that's a good thing. I went on the website, and I went and I actually sent a message to Nicola, and she told me how much thread I needed to do it, if I was going to do it in 32 count, because most of these are done like in 40, 46, 56, just really, small count. Back then, I wouldn't even attempt it when I first started stitching again. I did not even want to attempt that stuff. This is Ink Circles, Cirque de Carew. I'm doing this, and this calls for Carrie's Creation. Epiphany is the name of the thread, and I got that, and I'm doing this on I think it's probably 32 count. Yeah, 32 count ivory. I think it's the Ghana. Yeah, and that's how far I got on it so far. This I saw, what was her name? I stitched too far. She's Dutch. I can't think of what her name is now for some reason. I knew it. I know her name, but my mind just like went out of my head. This one is in another So Much to Love bag. She made such cute bags. I just couldn't do it again this year. I wanted to, though. This is another Wienberg stitch along. It's called the Tranquility Sampler. I'm doing this on either 32. This, I think, is 32 count 1/1. I'm about halfway done. And it's really pretty. And I want to work on this some more while I still can do it. I'm still able to see that. I will need to get that done. Here is Long Dog Sampler Sound. I think it's a sneak. Yeah, this is sneak. I'm doing this in, it's on Ada. Back when I first started stitching again, I went to Ada. This is an 18 count. I think this is Antique Blue, Misty Blue, or something like that. I'm not sure. And here's where I just got the very first part. And this is a Silks for You, PR 124. It's gorgeous. This is really a gorgeous thread. Purples and teal. I love this thread. I may eventually finish this one. But I'm not sure what's going to happen with this, that 18 count. Which, Julia uses, I think she stitches all of them, and hers in on Ada. This is Four Seasons sampler by Stitch Along from Modern Folk Embroidery. Started this. This is DMC 820, which is just a really nice, really pretty royal blue. So, and that's going to be really pretty when it's done. I've got a whole bunch of it in there. I don't think I'll need that many, but you never know. Here is the Haid Mystery Sampler Sal from 2017. I really love this. There's things about it I don't like. As far as once I saw the bottom part of the sampler, I don't really like the bottom part. So I'm not going to do all that down there. But this top part is gorgeous. And I didn't get all the way over. I think this is a Vintage Country Mocha. Probably 32 count. Either 28 or 32 count. I'm not sure which it is. Oh, no, this is something I actually ordered. This is the call for fabric. It's an Ada. This is an Ada, 18 count. I don't know what, she dyed it herself. But there it is. This mirror's on the other side, which I haven't got to that yet. This is Silken Colors. This thread right here, they had a mystery, a thread that they actually made for it, and there's especially, that was like a limited edition that was for this sampler alone. And then there's beads, and this goes all the way down the side, and it goes down on the side on the other side. Don't much care for doing that vine. It's hard to do that and keep it right, but I don't know how far down I'll go on that one, but I do want to work on that and get it done. Because it's pretty, but like I said, the whole bottom part of it, it's called All Creatures Great and Small, and there's a lot of animals in there, which I don't mind the animals. Then it gets to doing a lot of words and like just in odd places. I don't know. I just didn't care for that. Yeah. Here is one from another free one online. It's called Antioch Rakama Antichi. Well, here's the name of the group. And they're doing one now. I haven't even started it, but I'm downloading the patterns because they're free. And this is just the very center of the top motif. And I'm doing this in DMC 3843. I plan on doing it monochrome, but this, like I said, 18 count 8 again. Or it's either 16 count one or the other, 16 or 18. I don't have it written down, so I don't know. In there, I'm sure it's somewhere. Here's one that I started. This is one I started. I started this on 40 count to see if I could actually do 40 count. This is my first one I did on 40 count. And this is Homespun Elegance, and it's Colonial Flowers Colonial Flowers Revisited. And it's on the call for, it's got the call for thread, but I think the fabric is just something I had. I think it might be that mallow. It's that mallow. But there's that. It was really easy to do, so that's when I started getting my obsession with 40 count. So I need to get cracking on that, because I don't think it would take long to do that either. It's not that big. And here's another one I'm doing on 40 count. This is My Big Toe. I got the call for threads. That mallow linen. If you don't mind, because it's a little stiff, and I do like that better than the real soft ones. If you don't mind that stiff fabric, then it's so inexpensive compared to a lot of the other fabric. This is Quaker Seasons. To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. And here's how far I've gotten so far. I'm still working on the first motif. Well, my first one's done. I'm starting on the second one here. But that's on 40 count, which is lovely. I got all the threads in here. If it's DMC, I don't put it in with it there unless I kitted it up a long time ago. I might have them in there, but I work out of a master set now, so I don't put all my threads in there. Now, if it calls for like a bunch of the same color, I'll do, and you know, like I'll go and buy all of them together, so I'll make sure I keep everything the same. You know, the thread looking the same, and oh my goodness. Here is one of my very favorites. I can't remember who did this. She's not making videos anymore, but I saw her do this one, and she actually gave it away, but of course I didn't win it. But I'm happy for the one that did, because I found this at Yield Cross Stitchery. Sweet Land of Liberty by Cherry Stitches. And I'm using the call for threads. And this is on 32 count lambswool jubbling. And this is how far I got so far. That red is beautiful. I love, love, love this one. I've got a Christmas sampler that's quicker than I want to start for Christmas this year. Of course, I do have that one. I'm working on that Christmas one from the Lala Studio. Can't have too many Quakers. It's against the rules. So say you got too many Quakers. Owie. Now this one, I think, this is the Pink Sparrow sampler by, is this, an antique reproduction. Here it is. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. See whose is this? I think it's Brenda Gervais, because it with that needle and thread is what it looks like anyway. And here it is on 40 count, 13 by 18. I'm not sure whose. This might be one of those. I don't even know where this came from, to tell the truth. But this is as far as I got. It just says 40 count, 13 by 18. So I don't even know where I got that. I might have it written down somewhere. In my app, maybe. I might have it in my app. The X-Stitch app. Well, I'm about to the end of... oh my goodness, I'm 48 minutes. I'm not even to the end of my... This is Ann Niven. This is a stitch along by Ship's Manor. I'm doing this on a 32 count or 28 count. 32 count lambswool jubbling. That's one that's just been getting, and I think that's the top. And it's a reproduction sampler. You can actually buy the chart from shipsmanor.com now, or probably in his Etsy store also. So, and this one is Roses, Blanches, or Blank, or White Roses by Reflex de Soie. I got it on a blue Ada, and I'm doing this with B5200, and it is coming out really nice. That has been really fun when I'm doing it. Like I said, I hadn't stitched on any of these in a while, a good while. Okay, I'm getting down close to the bottom. This is Saint Flaubert by Long Dog. That's all I got done. This is an Ada, stiff Ada too at that. I think it's at DMC because it's got the like pinking cheers on the side. And I'm doing this just with DMC. That calls for. I don't know if that's a copy or my original pattern, because it's in there. This is the other Debbie Draper that I was doing. It's called Tapestry of Love. And it's with hand-dyed fibers. Which, of course, you can't get those threads anymore. I had right to start with. And I've got the thread. It's called Tuppy, something like that. And here's the fabric. Here it is. Here's my start. And this right here would be another one that just I could whip this up in a few days if I just, you know, went and did it. This is it's a sampler collection, and this is the sampler I'm doing right here. I'm using DMC. This is an old book. I got this from a local store that used to sell these. Like this one, I paid like half price, like $1 or something for this. But it doesn't really, and these are handwritten, so but I don't have I don't see a date on here, so I'm not going to waste time doing it. But this is all I got started on that one, and it's on an Ada with DMC, of course. This is Quaker Gone Tropic, and here's the pattern. Love this pattern. Alright, special order this fabric from Dying for Cross Stitch. And this is the Vicky Clayton. It doesn't look a bit like this up here. This is the Silken Colors. And I actually got, I got the conversion here. And I got Silks for You to do another conversion for me, and I hadn't torn that out and restarted it, so I don't know whether I'm going to or if I'm just going to stick with this, because I think it's pretty similar to what I got here. So it's just because it went by that, I think it's Pears and Poppies or something like that is the name of the Anatolia. This is that's the name of the Silken Colors as Pears and Poppies. Here's Ink Circles, Anatolia. I think it's how you pronounce it, Anatolia. This is another 32 count Jobelin. And I'm doing this with Carrie's Creations. I think it calls for Carrie's Creations, so which you'd have to do a DMC conversion now, which I'm sure, no, there's not one on there, but if you bought the pattern, you'd have to, because they're not available anymore. Which is they should try to do DMC for any specialty threads like that, especially ones that's not like the name brands like WIPS and all that, because you just never know how long people are going to stay in business. This is this is one I started, and I'm doing using DMC. And it's from the sampling of Tradition. And I'm trying to find the pattern, but I'm having trouble finding it. This is just a Leisure Arts booklet. And there's some pretty ones in here. Here it is. It's a Harvest Band sampler. But, you know, it's just, I mean, I really like this one too. But anyway, it's a Harvest Band sampler, and I started this. This is one of the first ones I did when I started stitching again. This is on that True Colors fabric that came out back in the 90s, 80s, 90s. That's how far I got. It's pretty fun to stitch. I really need to get back and just start stitching on some of these, and you know, the ones I haven't stitched on for a year or two, and then instead of trying to start all these new ones. Okay. All right, the last two. This one is called Flowers and Lace, and this is from Cross Stitch and Country Craft magazine. And I don't know why that's in front of it, but that's what it looks like right here, the top part. And here's how far I've got so far. I think this is on just an odd piece of fabric. It's a 28 or 32 count. I don't think probably a, I'm not sure, maybe a 28. And then here is something. What is this? Oh, Samplers by the Scarlet House. And I'm doing this with called for fat thread. This is a vintage country mocha. That's all I got done. This is all my samplers I have started. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to move these over and then start working on, showing you the ones that are just samplers that I have kitted. Uh-oh. This came out of my holiday Quaker. I know which one it goes in, so. Okay, here's one that I got years ago. I bought it came with it was a kit. And it's by Homespun Elegance. It's called Annual Christmas Sampler. And it's got the thread and the fabric in there. And so I thought I might try to stitch that this year. Here's one I bought a long time ago. It's called Our Italian Family Sampler. And I don't think I don't have fabric in here, but I got all the threads. And the threads are really, for some idiotic reason, I bought all the, it calls for silken colors, water lilies, and yeah, that's it right there. And I bought all of the silken, and this is one that came with it that's some kind of limited edition. But here's all the silken colors and the water lilies I bought for it. I paid a lot of money for all these threads. And I haven't even gotten anywhere near trying to start yet. So, but I really need, if I'm going to, which I'm sure I could use those for something else if I decided not to do this, but I would, if I was kidding today, I would not do that. That's just very expensive. Here is Time and Season Sampler by Maura Blackburn. I want to do this one. I started this years and years ago. I made a mistake in the border and messed up my fabric, and that was all she wrote. I haven't even started it, but I want to start it again. Here is Quaker Style Friendship Sampler. And I've got looks like a 28 count. I want to do this one here. Might do, I think, it's the same one, but they're done. This is just done in black. This is done in different colors. And it's charted for DMC, and it's handwritten because it's an older sampler. Yeah. Yeah, this is 18 count white. I don't know why I was thinking 28, but it's 18 count white. And I might change the fabric and do something different fabric-wise, but Miss Lucy Calcutt. Oh dear. There we go. A lot of people have seen this. A lot of people have stitched this. And I'm doing it on 40 count pecan butter. And I plan on doing it on the DMC because I don't, you know, it takes a lot of thread. It calls for AVAS. That's why. So I'm just going to do it in the DMC. Here's one I've had, and I've really wanted to stitch this for a long time. But I never have got started. It's the, this one right here, the silhouette. It's a silhouette. This one right there. But, and I've got thread, which is DMC, and white. Some kind of white, something. I do believe that is an even weave though. So. It looks like 28 count. Probably was one of those tubes, 28 count. Monaco. That's kind of soft though, so it might not be Monaco actually. Okay, here is, it's 272 words. Primrose Needleworks. I have the call for fabric and threads. It's ready to start. I have Quaker Christmas by Bygone Stitches. This is the first one. I have all the threads, fabric I'm going to use, and here's the pattern. I like the second one better, I think, but I don't have that pattern. I was looking to see if I thought buying it, but, you know, no, I don't need to buy it right yet. Maybe someday. The next section, when I start my next part, it's going to be all the ones that's in my file cabinet, and that one is, yeah. Autumn Quakers. I've got the call for Jobelin, or the Mushroom Lagana, 28 count, and the threads. They're doing a sale on this, and I think it's Garon Toten Bags is doing it, Gary, or the Sunshine Stitchers, whichever, I don't know. But they're doing a sale on that, and I've been meaning to start it, but I haven't got around to it yet. Now this is the baskets with the call for thread. I don't have my fabric in there yet, but I know I have fabric in there to use, so there's not a problem there. There's not as many of these as there was of the ones I have started, so that's a good thing. Here is another one by Wienberg. This is, I'm not sure what the name of this one is, but it's another Verland sampler. It's it calls for just DMC, but I don't know what I'm gonna use yet. It's a monochrome. It's a dark blue. I can't remember. I don't know what color it calls for. I've got Silk Weaver Vertal. This is Arabian Desert. That's what I'm gonna use. I just got to decide on my thread. And I don't know yet what I'm gonna use, but I don't know. I might use a variegated. I'm not really sure. Here is Ship's Manor. This is one I haven't had too long. Well, I've had it a little while, but I just got the threads the other day. Secret Garden. Ship's Manor. And I ordered the thread and the fabric for it. This is Merlin from Silk Weavers. I mean, not Silk Weavers, but from Ship's Manor. So that's a good one. That's one that's going to go in my stitch, you know, for my Halloween. This is Chessie and Me. I ordered this. It's called Blackbird House from Jen Stitch and Knitch. There was a whole kit. It had the threads and the fabric. And that's right cute. I'd like to get that started. Here's the Promise Sampler. This is another oldie. And it folds completely out. I don't like that. But I really like the sampler. And it calls for DMC, of course, because it's like, you know, handwritten chart from back in probably the 90s. Canterbury Designs, the Promise Sampler. Got the DMC right there, so you can tell how long that's been kitted up. Probably at least several years. Here's one I want to start. I might start this one tonight. It's called The Quaker Welcome by the Stitcher Hood. It calls for just black. But I'm going to use something different, I think. I think I'm going to use a variegated on that. And I don't know what this is. Oh, yeah, here it is. It's vintage 32 count vintage Sahara in a Belfast linen. I've heard so many people talk about Belfast. I thought I'm going to try a piece of it, see how I like it. I think like, is it Jessie Marie? That's her favorite fabric is Belfast. I don't care for casual. It's just, I don't know what it is. I know they say it's because it's the count. But there's something about that. It's another one that's squishy. Maybe if I get it that's not hand dyed. I'll get that in a minute. Here's one that I've been looking at for a long time. It hadn't been available for years. They decided to redo it, but it's a kit, and I'm going to do it as kitted. Permanent Copenhagen Adam and Eve. It came with a, I'm not sure, I think it's a linen. It looks like a linen. I'm sure it's written down there. And here is the DMC thread. It looks like it might be 930, 928, 927, one of those. And it's one of the patterns that fold. It folds out like it's a big page. So it's really not that easy to do. It'd be really nice if you could, make a working copy of it that way. You could share. Sell it or loan your pattern out easier because you don't have to worry about messing it up. But I don't know. It tells in here somewhere what kind of fabric it is and everything, but I don't want to take the time to do it. It's 32 count even weave. So, and I've wanted this ever since I've seen it. As a matter of fact, there's a group that's actually, I'm not sure, I'll be Sampler World, where they're like stitching it, and then as soon as they get done stitching it, they send it on to the next person on the list. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna save that for my Dark October video too. Here's one that I really liked. I bought all the stuff for this. Is Papillon Creations. Papillon. It's Cotillion is the name of the pattern. Here it is. I got all the thread for it that it calls for, and then I had this fabric, and I think it's a picture of this plus. It's 18 count, and it's called Dawn. But I thought it looked pretty similar to that. And here's all the fabric, the threads. I think this next one might be a little darker. The one it calls, the one in the picture looks darker, but I don't know. But that's what I'm gonna stitch it on. Hopefully I can see that. But it's 18 count, so I shouldn't have too much trouble. And here is, I don't remember if I showed you this one or not, but Eliza Bellcock's 1832. I've got 40 count mallow in there. And this is the Victorian motto conversion instead of the silks. It's already completely ready to start in my bag. And I haven't started yet. But I do want to start it. I have a lot of Hands Across the Sea, and I keep wanting to buy more, but I keep thinking, well, how can you rationalize buying more if you don't ever start any of them? This is a stitch along from Sassy Jacks. It's called the AEH 1741 Saxon Band Sampler Sal. You get it from their thing they send out every month or every couple of months. Newsletter. They give a part in each newsletter. Here's the threads for it. This is the needlepoint ink silks. I got all the thread for it. I haven't started yet, which is kind of crazy. I need to start that. Here is Pineberry Lane, Winifred Clark, 1892. I love that. Actually, I looked at it online the other day and I almost bought it. I'm glad I didn't buy it. And I don't know what kind of threads it takes. I got the fabric for it, and it's Vintage Country Mocha. I don't know what threads it takes. I have to look at that. Maybe I plan on doing it on the DMC. I don't know. Getting down there, getting down there. Now here's my very first Hands Across the Sea. This is back when I first started stitching. I saw this and I thought, oh my gosh, this is wonderful. I love it. It's Ann Forfeit 1812. This sampler is 519 by 570. And at that time, I thought, oh, I cannot stitch on anything bigger than 28 count or smaller than 28 count. I ordered 28 count from, special ordered this from the Silver Needle. I had to go somewhere where they had specials, you know, thing. It is 54 by 45, 28 count. Cream Lagana. Now, I don't think there's any way I'm going to stitch that on this piece of fabric. Now, this is a big piece. I can get lots of good out of this. But I'm going to have to get 40 count somewhere, do some 40 count. And I'm doing it with, I got the DMC thread for that. I didn't even try to get the sole, you know, swatted gel, right? See, I'm getting so tired I can't even pronounce it wrong. Silk. I think you kind of can get the drift though. Okay, I'm down to the last couple. 1 hour and 11 minutes. Not too as bad as it could be. This is Modern Folk Embroidery 2019 SAL. Have I even started? No, I haven't started this one yet. It's called Hope. And here is the picture of the first section. Love this. I'm not sure what thread I'm going to use, but I know it's something I've got. And I'm going to put it on this, I think it looks like it's supposed to be the 40 count Vertil Silk Weavers. Golden Harvest, a beautiful fabric. I really wish they were easier to buy fabric from, because I'll tell you what, I love their fabric. Years ago, I used to be in the Fabric of the Month Club, and it was so good back before they, whatever they did. But I'm so scared. The only thing I buy from them is when I can do it on their Facebook flash sales. This is one I got from Kitten Stitcher. This is that one she offered. It has the Gloriana silk and some kind of special pashmina, and the fabric. It's called S. Ward, a Little Rag. I'm kind of scared of it because the way she talks about splitting the threads to do it, you got to do it a special way for certain things. I got to just get in there and look at it and figure out exactly what she's talking about. But just make sure you have enough of the thread. But I do want to get to that. You know, I bought this and she had it, you know, she offered it and, you know, it's cute. I need to do it. Well, I'll put that back in there in a minute because I've only got one more. And this one is Monasterium Designs, Willie's Quaker Square number 5. That's another one I could start pretty quick because it's a monochrome. It calls for 2 skeins of DMC floss. And this is 40 count Alabaster Newcastle linen. And so I can just get whatever I want thread wise and just go to town. So that is all my WIPS. That's all my kitted up samplers. I have 2 drawers full of patterns, and I mean 2. You saw my file cabinet in the last video. So I got 2 drawer full of those patterns. I mean, and I'd say the majority of those patterns are samplers. So the next part I'll go through and get out my samplers and try to keep them in order so I can put them back in their file folders. And I'm not sure when that's going to be. I hope y'all enjoyed this and stick with me. This is a long video. I've seen a lot longer though. And I'll try to get this uploaded tonight, and I just hope y'all like what I've got. I've got a lot of beautiful samplers, and I just need to get find a sorcerer's stone so I can live forever. Oh, that's one thing I wanted to talk about too a little bit. Just a minute. I did join the School of Magical Stitches, and I did do like one assignment the first week that I was, I was sorted into my house, which I'm a Slytherin. And so I did one of the things, but then I've got these things I need to stitch, like the one for my brother, one for my son's girlfriend, and there's so many I need to do, and I come in so late that I'm not really up on exactly how this, I mean, it's a little complicated. The homework can get complicated, and I don't know if I really am up for complicated as far as with my stitching, so I may just kind of just hang out and see what happens next year when they start the new one, which is going to be based on Disney. And I might try it. Then again, I might not. I don't know yet what I'm going to do. But, I mean, I am enjoying watching everybody else, post their stuff. And I do love watching the videos of people talking about their homework and stuff. So, we'll see. I'm sure I could fit most of this stuff in with some kind of, I could fit stuff in. But I just ain't got around to doing that, so we'll see. I may end up doing some of them before the end of the year. I may not. I don't know. So, anyway, I appreciate, like I said, everybody watching. All the new subscribers I've got. I'm going to do a giveaway when I get to 800. I mean, that's probably a while since I'm going up really slowly, which is okay. I appreciate. And the ones that comment, I get such sweet comments every week, and I really do appreciate those comments. You just don't know how good that makes me feel when I read those sweet comments about my stuff. So, anyway, I will let you go, and I will talk to you again soon. Have a good night.